Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We got guest host Jake Highfill here, representative of Johnson and Grimes, and a tiny little bit of Urbandale that hasn't been reclaimed by the Urbandale. It was annexed generations ago.
Johnson schools.
Yep, that's right. So we have here helping us out today while Doc Petrosh is jet setting around the world as he is wont to do, living the high life. And then maybe occasionally doing some good work like helping some orphans and checking in with kids around the world, which is the secret hero kind of work that Doc Petrosh does that he doesn't like me talking about because he gets embarrassed. So we're moving to the DNC, but I think before we get to that, we're gonna talk about third parties as well, because the DNC had a little bit of a hiccup, if you can call it that, right before they kicked off, in that WikiLeaks dumped about 20,000 emails from the DNC server that they had obtained from some sort of anonymous hacking group, or maybe a collection of hackers back in, I think, June.
Good timing.
Yeah. Very
weird how that always works out like
convenient.
that. I know. How convenient that always works out like that.
It's a crazy thing. And these emails kind of demonstrated that the DNC had a preference for Hillary over Bernie. That should not surprise anybody, as a lifelong independent socialist being disfavored by the Democratic National Committee. But they had pledged to be neutral. They weren't in some of their attitudes. They had it showed a cozy relationship with the press. I think that, and basically what the narrative, especially the right-wing websites, the clickbait websites especially, are saying, here's the proof that Bernie was talking about where the system was rigged against him. And what that has done has fueled this, and thrown gas on the fire of, well, we can't vote for Hillary because she's corrupt and terrible and we hate her. We can't vote for Bernie because he's not going to be the nominee. We can't vote for Trump because he's Trump. Who are we going to vote for? We got Gary Johnson, worked for the Libertarians. We got Jill Stein, working for the Greens. She's not pulling more than 5%. So
she's pulling about 0.5%.
Yeah, it's not going to work nationally for her. But Gary Johnson, a lot of polls like 10, 11%. So tell me about viability of the third-party candidate.
I am solely convinced, you can call me crazy, that this country is fiscally very conservative and socially tolerant, I would say. And if you let Gary Johnson or a libertarian-like candidate or a third-party Republican that will just drop some of the issues, you could get 20% of the vote and really, really swing the election. The parties have worked together to never let that happen again after Ross Perot. I am firmly convinced, if you let, 10%? They have to poll 10%?
He's got to get 15 in the national polls to get on the debate stage.
I've seen him at 15 once. So.
Yeah, he's around 10, 11 right now. He's been consistently 10, 11. My problem with the third party candidate at the top of the ticket is you don't build coalitions that way. You don't build coalitions with the presidential candidate that don't really exist. I mean, the Libertarians are a very popular option because of what you said. We want to keep our money and we don't care what you do in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. It's appealing to everybody, honestly. But other than yourself, who identifies more on the libertarian side of things, I don't think I know more than 3 other elected libertarians anywhere, and I'm pretty sure that the Libertarians and the Greens and these more niche parties around the country don't hold but more than maybe 0.1% of elected offices. There's no grassroots movement behind that. And so I think, just the idea then that I have is you're never going to get the kind of support for a third party you want because you don't have the infrastructure behind it.
And I agree with you, but I will argue philosophically any day of the week that if you have to sleep at night and you got to vote for Hillary or Trump, and I'm not arguing, I'm not voting for Hillary. That's pretty much given. Yep. But I'll tell you this, if you have to sleep at night and you got to vote for one of them, voting for the lesser of two evils is still voting for evil. I'm sick and tired of going to the polls and saying, again, I have Obama or I have Romney. And I was completely against Romney, and I've been outspokenly against Romney for a very long time. Mm-hmm. He was just everything I like about politics. I mean, I caucused for Ron Paul in 12, Huckabee in 8, before Huckabee. I actually like a lot of his stuff when his fair tax book and everything, which is a big issue for me, form tax. But I'm telling you, I'm sick and tired of not being inspired. And that's why I get the Bernie thing. I get it because I think he's wrong in a lot of things, but I understand I'm sick and tired of going to the poll and looking at the top of the ticket and saying, I don't like either one of them. National polls say 60% negatives for both of them. That's incredible. Yeah. It's not obviously the rest of the ticket, there's a lot of good people on there that people are excited to vote for, but I'm sick and tired of that. You have to vote for one of the two to fix it. Otherwise, you're throwing your vote away. Well, I don't really think that's the case, because if you have to go, I just voted for, Hillary Clinton because I don't like Donald Trump. Well, you didn't vote. You voted only because of that. I don't like that argument. If you want to say I voted for Donald Trump because of the judges or something like that, and it hurt, but I just have a problem with that logic.
See, well, and I mean, talking to me specifically, it's a different conversation, because I'm going to proudly vote for Hillary Clinton. I think that I caucused for her in 2008, caucused for again in 2016. I don't buy most of the rhetoric that's used against her. I never have. It's exaggerated, and a lot of it's plain wrong. But one of the things that Doc wanted me to do was ask a question about Hillary Clinton that we can talk about, and it's probably directed to me. It's a question: how corrupt does Hillary have to be for the Democrats not to get behind her? Well, they just nominated her today, and I reject the premise because I don't think that Hillary is corrupt. I think that Hillary has perception issues. She's not a warm, engaging person the way we've seen GW
or Bill
or Obama. In fact, I would say that Hillary is kind of this hybrid, that Obama is this hybrid between Hillary and Bill, where he can be very robotic and very kind of down in the, like, wonky, and then he can be this preacher that can just lay it out for you.
And you're just like, I get it. Follow me, coach. Put me in, coach.
That's exactly right. But no, I ride for Hillary, and I have for a long time. I think that she's the most qualified, and that she's going to do a great job when she's elected. And so I reject that idea. But the concerns, I reject the premise, but I don't want to completely just poo-poo the concerns that people have about Hillary Clinton, because I think that while I think a lot of people are confused, or maybe they're believing things that aren't exactly true, those concerns are real and they need to be addressed. So
let me tell you my answer for that real quick.
Yeah.
I don't vote for Hillary because I don't believe it. I don't care about the corruption. You can get over that. We philosophically disagree of how to achieve better.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yep. And I have a young gal, Representative Finker now. We talked to her. She's a young gal. She's 27. Mm-hmm. So we spoke to young. She's a Democrat and Republican. We spoke to a group, and she said the same thing. I said, I don't really care about any of that. Here's what I care about. I think she's wrong, and how to get to the better country. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't care. You can argue with the rest of it. And I don't like Trump's approach. I think he's too liberal for me. So, I mean, say what you want, but that's the point I'm at. I don't like Trump's rhetoric either. So that's a thing where you have to look at it and say, you can talk about the corruption, but I would rather just say I wouldn't vote for even if there wasn't any corruption.
Well, and there are two sides to that I think, especially a question like, and Doc asks those questions to stir the pot when he's gone. Yes, and I'm always happy to oblige him. But it's a question that just doesn't, and we'll have to get back to the answer to that question just after this.
Bertroche and Associates will provide you with a friendly, caring, and confidential place to find help for mental health concerns. We are ready for your call. We are proud to work with military personnel and their families. Our doctor, Dr. J. Patrick Bertroche, provides a full range of psychiatric services for children, adolescents, and adults in a forthright and informative manner while maintaining a casual, comfortable, and relaxed atmosphere. Our licensed mental health therapists provide individual counseling to children, adolescents, and adults, including couples and marital counseling. Visit our website at Bertroche and Associates.